Okay, so welcome back to Eat the World. So today I wanted to be doing a bit of an experiment. We're going to be making fried chicken. Now I know that doesn't sound too experimental, but let me explain. So I used to own a restaurant and I used to have fried chicken on my menu and it was pretty good, you know, like fried chicken, what's not to love? But I thought, and it was the kind of modified KFC version recipe that I used. I sort of tweaked it a little bit, but I always thought it was missing something. It's like, it tastes kind of like KFC, it tastes like delicious fried chicken, but it's missing something and I don't know what it is. Well, that missing something was MSG, or monosodium glutamate. That's right, all of your favorite fast food and your junk food, all that stuff, it's packed full of MSG. Why do they use MSG? Well, I looked on Wikipedia and MSG describes it as this. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, is found naturally in some foods including tomatoes, cheese. MSG is used in cooking as a flavor enhancer with an umami taste that intensifies the meaty, savory flavor of food, as naturally occurring glutamate does in foods such as stews, meat soups. Basically, it just makes things taste good. I, of course, as a trained cordon bleu chef, could never have possibly used MSG in my fried chicken, but I always wondered, what would it taste like if I actually took my fried chicken recipe and I added MSG to it? So I'm going to do that today. We're going to have a bit of a taste test.
Dad, how can you hate the Colonel?
Because he puts an addictive chemical in his chicken that makes you crave it fortnightly, smart arse!
MSG is controversial. People do claim to have minor reactions to it, such as headaches and a variety of other stuff. It seems that if anybody has any kind of thing going on with them, they blame MSG on it. I'm not going to get too technical about it, and I've done a fair bit of research into it. And what I will say is, and I'm quoting here, researchers have found no definitive evidence of a link between MSG and these symptoms. Researchers acknowledge, though, that a small percentage of people may have short-term reactions to MSG. And it is from that it has such a bad rep. MSG is so pervasive in our food that we eat today. It's all over the place and you don't even know it. Just think of anything packaged. If you listen to people like Uncle Roger,
FUYO,
that YouTube sensation and legend, here's what he has to say about MSG.
This is MSG, also known as monosodium glutamate.
also known as key to my heart. So much MSG, so much white powder. Look like a scene from Narcos. What I tell you, MSG make everything better. But nobody ever complained food too umami. Niece and nephew, have you used MSG in your life? If you have job you hate, sprinkle MSG on there, you will be promoted to manager. If you get bad grade, sprinkle MSG on your exam, it will be A+++. Hope more people start using MSG from now on.
So like I said, this is more of a taste test video, but I'm just going to walk you through the steps of making fried chicken as well, and I'm going to share my recipe for it with MSG and without. And well, I hope you guys enjoy. So we're going to get started mixing up our spices, our 11 herbs and secret spices. Hey Uncle Roger, should we make carrot cake instead?
Plot twist! Hi, fuck carrot cake.
Okay, fine. Let's start by mixing all of our ingredients together for the chicken coating. Full recipe is on my website. Make sure you stick around until the end to hear Uncle Roger's final thoughts. So, here we go. We've got salt, thyme, basil, oregano, celery salt, black pepper, dry mustard, paprika, garlic powder, ground ginger, white pepper, and of course MSG. Okay, so mix all of these together. My recipe is slightly tweaked to the original recipe. I think it gives a better result. I reduced the paprika just a touch because I found it gives too much color once it's cooked, and I upped the white pepper, which is critical, as well as garlic powder. Give it a good mix and then split it in two. I used a set of scales to make sure this was done evenly, and then I added a cup of flour to each batch and then mixed it thoroughly again. One mix will be plain in a large bowl, and then the other mix, the small one, will have MSG, so it's that time.
We must not forget the most important ingredient, the king of flavor, Uncle Roger's white powder of choice, MSG.
the MSG mix thoroughly, and then it's time for us to start frying. I have the chicken soaking in a thinned out egg and buttermilk mixture. You do not want it to be too thick. I guarantee you KFC is not using buttermilk in their recipe. Too much egg and buttermilk again makes your chicken too dark once it's cooked. So we are going to coat this twice in the mix. So once in the flour mix, then back in the egg mix, and then back into the flour mix. You can do it once, but I like this result. Now I'm going to cook it in canola oil. It's a great high temperature oil, perfect for this kind of thing, but you can experiment in lard or peanut oil or whatever you fancy, but this is perfect. So when you add the chicken to the oil, make sure you're laying it in away from you and be very, very careful. And make sure that the oil is at the correct temperature. You want it around 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius, thereabout. Always use a thermometer. I've been doing this for years, so I kind of know from sound, from feel, when the oil is ready for cooking in. Hey Uncle Roger, should we cook vegetables to go with this?
Don't use vegetable. Vegetable tastes like sad.
Okay, chicken it is. Some people are so fussy. If you're using a deep fryer, great. Give them a shake. Otherwise, make sure you keep them moving a bit so they don't stick, and then give them a flip. Okay, so make sure it is cooked. You can use a thermometer to double check the internal temperature, and then remove it from the oil and drain it on a rack. Okay, so here we go. We've got the non-MSG one at the front, and we've got the MSG one at the back. So you can see it looks pretty, that's pretty KFC AF. They look really good actually. It looks super nice and crispy. The color's pretty much identical to KFC. So let's give it a try. Nice crunch there. Oh, look at that. Nice and moist as well. Moist. I think it's beautiful. Let's give it a try. It's nice. Tastes like fried chicken. Can't complain. It's that's nice. Yeah, I'm happy with it, but let's try this one. This is our one with MSG. Yeah, well, you know, that one tastes better. It really does. Like, there's no ambiguity. This MSG flavored fried chicken just tastes better than the other one. It's got that zing that you get from KFC chicken. It's got that extra, that thing that I said I was always missing, that just was not there. But I have to say that this one's better. Conclusion. MSG makes stuff taste good. What can I say? I'll wind up in culinary hell sometime, but it's really good. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Okay, so my fried chicken experiment. I have to say, it's bloody delicious. Okay, two things. That is better than KFC.
FUYO!
How many times have you gone into KFC and thought, this is really horrible and I don't know why I'm eating it? That is amazing. So, first of all, make this recipe, give it a try. It's actually fantastic. The second most surprising thing, well, not surprising thing, is that the MSG made it taste so good. Like, it's that thing, it's that kick that you're missing when I've made it before without the MSG.
What I tell you, MSG make everything better.
So, look, this is my thoughts on it. You're making fried chicken. Seriously, you're making fried chicken. It's not the most healthy food for you in the world. I don't have it very often. Why don't you just splurge once every now and then and just say, fuck it, we're having fried chicken with MSG and fuck it, it's gonna be good. So, those are my thoughts. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Full recipe is gonna be up on my website. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
This video, very good video. Uncle Roger like 2 thumbs up. FUYO!
subscribe. Subscribe.